Very good morning to each and every one of you. Welcome to our broadcast. Happy to have you here with us. Do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. It's a privilege to be here with you folks on this 11th day of July, 2025. And it's on, folks. We're heading down. Closer to the general regional election day of 1st of September, 2025. How are you folks doing out there this morning? It's a privilege to have all of you here. So would we. Wendell and Dolly and Irwin, Emerson, Terrence, Terrence. Good to have all of you. Sonia Massick, come. Sonia, thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing, Sonia. You know, I'm grateful to those folks that helps us to keep going. I'm grateful for the folks that help us to keep moving forward. Wendell, Natasha, Bristol, Rena, Kevin, Kizzy. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. The folks that help us to keep moving forward. You're the real MVPs. Good to have you, Rena and Sharon and Kevin Cho, Tessa Haywood. Good to have all of you here. Deborah Clark. Good to see you too, Deborah. Folks have been up so long, now should be lunch. How are you folks doing? Somewhere in the world. Now it's lunch. Claire says, Charmley Richmond, thanks for the thing. Claire, thanks for the thing. Please and thank you. Again, Claire, thanks for the thing. Take a bow. You know, they got some real troopers that help us to move forward. Claire, thanks for the thing. Please. Claire lives out there in Brooklyn, New York. She lives in New York. Somewhere between Brooklyn and Queens there. Let me say New York broadly. Thank you, Claire. Well received. Well received. Deborah Clark and all the others. Well received. So I was reflecting, folks, on the massive launch of the APNU coalition campaign. I was reflecting on it. And folks, like I said, like good wine, the thing just matures every time you listen to it. And I was listening in particular to Dr. David Hinds articulate how workers are going to be improved. Their terms and service is going to be so improved under the APNU coalition administration. It matured over the last few days. And Sandra Hanover in the diaspora this morning. Great to have you on the live. And Crystal Simon, Kevin Joe, David Papin. Good to have all of you on the broadcast today. How are you all doing, good folks? So as I said, the thing has just matured quite nicely. Take a look and take a listen as we begin this morning. So what transpired last Sunday at the Square of the Revolution, the Revolution. Folks, the man himself, Dr. David Hinds of the Working People's Alliance, he had a really great presentation. As always, take a look.
Do it in at least two ways. Once we take power, all the workers of this country, we will sit down with your unions and we will bargain with your unions and ensure that every worker gets a living wage in this country. And what I say, we are not going to give you, we are going to restore collective bargaining in this country. We sit with the unions and we decide together. So I want to make that promise. The second thing we will do is that we will ensure that the oil wealth, a percentage of it comes directly to you all. Not a $100,000 freck. We will go to Parliament and we will put it in law that a percentage of the oil money will go to every Guyanese. As you all know, the party to which I belong, from as early as 2018, said that by 2025, each Guyanese could be and will be, every family will be entitled to $1 million Guyanese dollars. Professor Clive Thomas, our renowned economist, did the research and said that we are part of a coalition, and so we have to sit down with our coalition partners and come up with the right number. But be assured that every Guyanese family will get cash transfers, not cash grant, cash transfers, and you will get it by law. By law. Sisters and brothers, for too long, our people have had to suffer. We live in a country in which almost 50% of our people are living below the poverty line. According to the big shot people outside, they say 50% of our people are earning less than $5.50 American money. That's 1,100 Guyanese money. We are going to change that. We are going to change that. We will work to wipe poverty off the face of Guyana. Sisters and brothers, I want to reiterate, so I want to remind you all, do not waste your, do not waste, and in case you like the other word, do not split your vote. Do not split. Our first task is to remove the PPP. We have to move them out of the way. The PPP is bad for Guyana. The PPP is blackout. The PPP is extrajudicial killing. The PPP is kidnapping. The PPP is corruption. The PPP is racism. all know they don't like me talk about that. But the PPP is taking advantage of all the ethnic groups in this country, including the group that supports them most. And we will put an end to that. This country, Guyana, belongs to all of us. Africans, Indians, Portuguese, indigenous people, Chinese, mixed people. Guyana belongs to us, and we all must benefit from what Guyana has to offer. I want to close by saying to you that you are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are Guyana. And they talk about one Guyana, but they one Guyana leave out you all. And when we talk about one...
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Yep, you heard it there, Dr. David Hinds making the arguments and laying it out there for us. My Lord, that was a fantastic rally. Enjoyed myself thoroughly, even though I was behind the scenes and working with the team. Fantastic, folks, ensuring that everything ran smoothly. Fantastic. You heard that? You saw that? And to prove to you that this jagabat named Jag, you lie. Man said, oh, it was a failure. Simone Greaves and Lester Williams. Their administration is a failure. You know, just look at the crumbling infrastructure, Paula de Hicks and Kroll Providence and all the other folks. Thanks for joining us this morning. I love me some green hearts. No pun intended. I love me some green hearts. Mark and Rena, all the other folks joining us this morning. Charlene, great to have you on the live today. How you all doing? Well, your boy had his oh, your boy Jack Rio. He had his corner shop show yesterday. And of course, he says we're running scared on this side. You know, look at Dr. David Hinds. Look at Mr. Norton, Jarita, Ganesh. Right, look at that crowd. Anybody over here look like they're running scared? It's a reverse psychology, you know. Is he running scared? Right. Corner shop show yesterday. Take a look.
I want to talk a bit more about Sunday. Sunday is our launch at Kitty. We're launching our campaign on Sunday. And I saw already their fear-mongering. Sherrod Duncan is scared, you know. I think he has second thoughts now about joining APNU after the disastrous launch they had. So he's fully panicked. I think they jumped ship to get a seat in Parliament, but I think that looks a bit tenuous now. So he's already saying, oh, we're bullying people to go, part-time workers to go, we're bullying contractors to go to our rally. If you come there, you'll see happy people.
Happy people. Happy people. They are bullying the 10-day workers. Right? Look at the excitement and the scream of the revolution. They're going to try to recreate that in their camp. But it's not going to work. Right? Because there's only the original. When you're bullying people and so on, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They are bullying the people. That's what the young lady told, what's his name? The mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, right? Woman from Linden. She said this is what they were doing, the bullying 10 days work, or the bullying people. That's what they're about. Bullying. Why you gotta do that? If you got a good you got a good policy or something like that, you don't got bully nobody. Right? You just lay out your thing nicely, and people will think. You gotta fret with nobody, fuss with nobody, threaten people on the jobs and so on. Come or else you can do all manner of things. That is not nice. And so we saw this woman in Linden who spoke her heart in the matter. She spoke until her mind was at ease on the issue. Right? That is not what is happening on our side, on the green team, the dream team. That's not what's happening. People are coming out of their own deliberate judgment. Here's somebody lady said quite recently in Linden. Take a look.
Last month when President went up here for come to do the contract for the bridge, he had a meeting. We didn't get to go up on the meeting. We attended.
Let me just pay attention.
Right? And Mr. Wilson and Singh said that we pay and cut because we ain't going to attend the meeting.
So you're saying every time a government official come here, I got to go to meetings?
Once we draw the money, they take out 4,000 out.
So they actually take out money from your money because y'all ain't go to a meeting?
Forget the envelope here. No, forget the envelope.
No, this isn't funny. No, listen. I want we understand this.
That's what I do.
Your employment for a certain job is to do the job, but you're saying that other things are added to the job, and if you don't do that, you won't be paid, such as going once ministers come to the town?
Yes, if the president or the minister come and we...
So it means you are out there this weekend? Sunday.
We have to go Sunday when Ejo comes.
So you have to go Sunday?
Yes, we have to go.
Wicked. No, but it's not about the crowd looking enough. It's exactly what you're being implied for. Because you're being implied to do what? To listen to government propaganda, or you're being implied so that you can earn some money?
Yeah.
Some money.
Yeah, but so every time anybody come, we got to let to go. If we miss 2 days or 3 days, then we pay cut out for the month, for the 10 days. So me never hear about that yet.
Yep. You got to go. You got to go. There it is. Bullying, folks. That's what bullying look like, Mr. Jack Deow. That is what it looks like. See, we don't make this stuff up. We don't make it up. Marlon, Edward, Everett, Wenda, we're not making it up. Sorry to say. Sorry to disappoint you. Deborah Pearson, you heard that? Chevron, and that lady's own deliberate judgment. Right? Then they can come down, bully her, and say, "Oh, you better come back and say, is that Deran and Sharma put you up to that?" In her own deliberate judgment, folks, people don't like this madness, right? People don't like this madness. People want to live in a country. You support who you want to support, right? You got a skill set, you get a job, and you can do that peacefully, Gloria Chester. But this wicked installed regime, wicked installed regime, long time gone though, and short time come. Great to have all of you, Rudolph and Chevron and Linden. Pamela, great to have you on the live. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, do us a big favor and share that broadcast. Folks, smash that emoji button for us. I really want to thank those persons who responded to our call yesterday to partner with us and to help us to move our program forward. It did solve some of our problems yesterday. So I really want to thank you guys for that, for doing that for us. We're going to share the link once more for those of you who didn't have a chance to, and you can help us to keep moving forward. Y'all are not playing around these parts. Folks, November's 5 years. We're out here, and we look into the next 5, God willing. Should the Lord tarry, we look into the next 5. November's 5 years. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Please God. All right? I want you all know the people, this government is so wicked. Them boys ain't playing, Do you know when Parliament prorogued, well, to be specific, when Parliament was dissolved on the 4th, wasn't the 4th or the 5th? Last week, when Parliament was dissolved. Them people write me one time. They said for this month, y'all only being paid up to the 4th. Folks, on the grace of God right now. I'm on the awesome grace of God. Y'all only being paid up to the 4th. You understand me? So we out of a job. But God. But God. I am thankful. It helps me to know, that I was young. And now, I'm not so young, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken or God's people begging bread. Never. They did the thing for rogue. The people write you the same day. They then said, thank you for your service. This or that. It was a privilege. No. Salary cut. You can pay up to the 4th. Goodbye. Goodbye. You get to pay up to the 4th. FYI, for your information. Goodbye. Folks, what we going forward? Pace and power. That's how we're doing. And we're going to keep moving forward. We've done it over the last 5 years, and we'll keep doing it over the next 5. Thank you folks, who contribute to our program. One way or the next, to keep us moving forward. That's what they did. That's what they did. And it's because we're talking about how they're coercing people. $10,000 per person, per attendant. 2. I shouldn't say everybody. You have categories. Remember, friends, family, and favorites. Such a different price. But the rest use bear threats. Done, you're ready and go. That's what they say. Or else. But I'm thankful we got some brave young people. Who you can't pull nothing over the eye. Rivaldo Birbal is one of those persons. As I reflect a couple minutes more, perhaps seconds more, on the launch last Sunday, the Spirit of the Revolution, the APNU coalition, Rivaldo Birbal, he coming nice. And once he continues to apply himself, he's already a leader. He's going to go far in this country. Once he keeps applying himself. The young Rivaldo Birbal, one of the youth leaders in the APNU coalition movement on Sunday.
I will be a part of this fight for a better Guyana, not just tonight, but every day until we take back our country from the corrupt hands that hold it hostage. Guyana belongs to you, the people, not the PPP cabal, not the friends, family, and favorites of Jack Deo and Irfan. So let's rise up, Guyana. Let's rise up with one voice, one movement, one mission to make Guyana what it was always meant to be. A land of justice, prosperity, unity, and pride. Let us rally behind APNU. Let us vote for change. Let us march towards victory on September the 1st, 2025.
Yeah, Rivaldo Birbal saying it's time to make Guyana great again. Folks, when I see our young people, I'm inspired. I'm encouraged that, this country is in good hands. This country is in good hands, and no attempt to paint the coalition or the PNCR in particular as racist and anti-Indian is going to work. That is the young Rivaldo laying it out there, telling us why he's backing the APNU coalition. Pay some power too. Very, very articulate. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it. And we're going to judge on a couple other issues before we let you go this morning. And there's a lot happening around us, of course. A lot. People have been talking about the encroachment of the encroachment and proliferation of the Chinese supermarket, almost forcing small businesses out from the communities that they've been part of for a long time. And this government said their hands are tied, they can't do nothing. As a minded coming in, I would never forget when the young lady, Miss Young, did an interview an investigation of the Jagdeo Ali regime. I never forget, there was a Chinese national who said, if the politicians the ministers weren't corrupt, they'd be bothered. If they were not, this is an indictment on Irfan's government, is an indictment on Jack Dio's third term. Corrupt. He said if they weren't corrupt, we'd be surprised. So they get a little thing and what's not, the little kick back and kick front and kick to the side. They get that and they turn a blind eye. We've heard businesses and people, entrepreneurs throughout this country saying, look, there must be something that we could do. There's our country. Don't let me a thing come to pass. When we say this is the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, says we can be tenants in our own country. When I saw these two folks of Chinese nationality stomping on this guy, I was like, my God, tenants. You think you understand that? In our own country, this violent attack apparently took place in Bardica, and they're telling us that the folks are now fined for assault. Fined for assault. Wow. Wow. I remember when I was going to Antigua, I think I've told you this before. For a little bit, my aunt said, do not make the people uncomfortable in our own country. But somebody didn't tell our brothers that. Don't make the people uncomfortable in our own country. My God. My God. You remember the Orem Boston saga? You all remember that? Young man shot in his bed in Dartmouth village on the Essequibo coast. We don't know to this day who sent that SWAT team to Dartmouth village, left Georgetown, got into Essequibo, went into that man's, the sanctity of his bedroom, shot him to death. Never found anything illegal. Now the court saying the police action was unlawful, unjustified, and excessive. And a single policeman is now facing 26 years in jail. 26 years. Right? Let me tell you this. The intellectual authors of that execution, that extrajudicial killing by the Ghana police force, they're not going behind bars. They are not going behind bars. So you got a fall guy here. 26 years. It was unlawful, it was unjustified, it was excessive. That's what the court says. And we know what we know about this cabal, the incumbent cabal. We know what we know about them. Is this justice for this family while others go unscathed? Is this justice? We don't think so. And that's why all these things on the ballot. All of these matters are on the ballot, folks. On Boston, shot dead in his bed. And while all of that is happening, distractions. They got a big event, Global Superstar League. The same thing that Pooley attended. PPP set up these things like stage shows, choreographed, maximum effect. Oh, you don't see the Global Super League with us. Oh, you don't see this body investing here. Vote back for we. But when Starbucks News turn up to the event, sparse stands, garbage and debris, empty seats. My God. So the thing has been a failure thus far. The Golden Super League opener is a failure thus far. That's one of the things we're watching. One of the things we're watching. Folks, we're going to do another 10 minutes, then we got to head off. We got places to be just like you guys. So bear with us. We're heading through, we're heading down. So that is happening on that one side, folks. And then, Speaker of the National Assembly, we see you. We see you, Mr. Speaker. Days before the life of the National Assembly came to an end, Parliament was dissolved. The Public Procurement Commission presented its annual reports for 2023 to 2025. The Procurement Commission, they have come under such very warranted attacks for the conduct and the corruption of this country. You all remember the Tupui contract? You remember the Tupui contract? You all remember that? All right. Case in point. Case in point. So they know this thing is going to be scrutinized. And so you come just before Parliament is up and you tuck it in. So it can't be debated. It can't even be tabled. We saw what you did there, PPC. We see you, and we saw what you did there. So a lot of things running here on parallel tracks. Right? Parallel tracks. I think the final thing I want to bring to your attention is to join the seats. You know? When I think about Asha Kisoon and the join the seats, my God. My God. Asha had refused to vacate the seat. Refused. Now Jacob has published some guidelines. Thanks, Asha. Politicians' word used to be his bun. Enter Asha Kisoon. Broke it all up. Broke it all up. Let's say got unfinished business in the National Assembly. I ain't going no place. Break it all up, Asha. Break it all up. Right? But of course, the new rules and so on is just meant to keep out. Right? Once you join, the seat allocation, the big party got to determine that. The big of the two, based on the votes, got to determine that. Right? I think it's a little more complicated, but I leave GCOM to do the explanation. But just wanted to point out, right, how far we've come. You got girl Asha. PP say welcome, Asha. Asha, she read now, and she gone. My God. My God. So we're contending with that. We're contending with this join the seat issue. We're contending with that. It's too unclear. Much too unclear about how these parties pool their votes together. Look, this whole electoral system in this country, I feel like you got to understand rocket science to appreciate it. And in all its intricacies. But we won't forget Asha in a long time. Infamously. We won't forget Asha. So take the. Take the. You know, I remember when, you all remember when the PVP's Nigel Darmalal, it wasn't Darmalal, it was Dr. Sahario, right? He had a dildo talk in the National Assembly, and MP Annette Ferguson said the thing left a bad taste in her mouth. The whole situation. That's Asha did join the seat for me. It left a bad taste in my mouth, Asha. Bad taste. I know political parties don't want to touch it. Right? Too much. It left a bad taste. Folks, Monday's nomination day. People adding up the list right now. You see, joinder or no joinder. People adding the list and checking it twice. You see, nature of the business. How you all doing? You know, best wishes to all the campaign. Best wishes. You know, best wishes. Right? I want to tell you all something. Political parties got a responsibility. The last thing I'll say this morning. Political parties have a responsibility to be forthright with supporters. Forthright. Right? And these journalist concepts and so on, they exist for a particular reason, to give parties a chance, right? Their bite of the pie, their piece of the Guyanese dream. So separately, you might not make up the numbers for a seat, but together, I tell you, our coalition politics is the way to the future in this country. But let me tell you this. I started telling you yesterday morning, but let me tell you let me get another installment. No political party in this country has gone from 0 to 51. None. Even the PPP, in its genesis, with Burnham and Jagan together, were toiling and building and building. Right? Let's say let me use the Alliance for Change. They don't cuss him out, so it doesn't matter anymore. Let me use the Alliance for Change. Right? Let's say the Alliance for Change occupies 10% of the electorate. 10%. You know what stars gotta line up for you to go from 10% to 51% in one electoral cycle? You know what stars gotta line up for that to happen? From 10% to 51% in one electoral cycle. Right? Listen what gonna happen. Listen how the stars gonna line up. Listen how the stars gonna line up. There isn't enough middle voters for that. You don't have enough middle voters on the fence for that. It would mean everybody in the PPP and some in APNU would have to vote for the Alliance for Change to take government. You have to have that kind of miracle and groundswell. Or I can put it the other way. Everybody in the APNU coalition and some of the PPP would have to vote in favor of a small party, for a small party to take the presidency and become a big party in one electoral cycle. Folks, even in the heyday of Walter Rodney saw big crowds outside of the two major parties, giving birth to the WPA, Working People's Alliance, a great party. Walter Rodney saw that. Massive crowds wherever he went. Massive crowds. And still was not able to go from, let's say, 10% of the electorate to 51%. Let's just give you a little reality check. And Walter Rodney wasn't no ordinary person. Let me tell you this. Jagdio couldn't bring water. He couldn't be the water bottle fetcher for an intellect like Rodney. He couldn't do it. He would have been found unworthy intellectually. Right. Dr. Walter Rodney, listen to me carefully now. Dr. Walter Rodney had his PhD that he studied for at 24. A PhD that he earned by dint of his mental acuity and faculties at 24. Nobody didn't give him no honorary doctorate from no half-skull, no-name university. And then he fighting people to call him doctor. At 24, and by just the dint of his ideas, no major backings, no big money behind him, just his ideas. Guyanese found it fascinating and went out in the thousands to listen to Dr. Walter Rodney. And Dr. Walter Rodney, and this is Indians and Africans alike in this country, across the racial divide, would go to listen to Dr. Walter Rodney. And Dr. Walter Rodney was still not able to bridge that divide. This is going from 10%, let's say the party occupied 10%, to 51%. Anybody who can do that in one lifetime, I give them the props. The Alliance for Change had Raphael Trotman from the PNCR. It had Kemraj Ramjatan from the from the PPP. And then later, 2010, enter Moses Nagamutu. Or was it 2015? Enter Moses Nagamutu in the fray. AFC had some serious political heavyweights. Serious political heavyweights. By the time Moses was in 2015, he had already done 45, 50 years in politics. Moses never hid from a mic. Moses, Veersami Nagamutu, can stand and just speak for hours like Fidel Castro and make sense. Not sing-song voice like Jagdeo. He could stand for hours extemporaneously without preparing and talk and make sense, connect ideas together. There's a gift he has. Kemraj Ramjatan is one of the most well-read people I have ever met in my life. He reads everything. Every international journal, every book. And he doesn't get enough credit for his own mental agility. Well read. Extremely well read. Well read. Kemraj has a political gut. When he said go in this direction, it might seem foolish. But you know at the end of the day, the thing will pan out to your benefit. He has that political instinct. He has that political instinct. You hear me? And then you got a man like Trotman. You got a man like Trotman. Trotman was not only handsome, he got in a lot of trouble for that. He was not only handsome, right? Trotman had also the gift, the suave and the dexterity of language. You see, charismatic, right? Charismatic. Charisma for soul. Trotman would make you sell your grandmother TV and give you all the money and be happy and like it. Charismatic. But like Burnham, the very gift, the very gift the enemy is hitting at And so over the last few years, he's had a battle with his voice. The very gift. But the point I'm making, the AFC had Raphael Trotman, Kemrat Ramtitan, Moses Nagamutu, heavyweights. Real heavyweights. That's why I tell y'all, I humble myself. I got a lot to learn. I young in this business. I'm unworthy to untie any one of the shoelaces. Heavyweight and AFC couldn't go from 7 seats, from 7 seats to 31 seats in the National Assembly. It has not been done. It cannot be done. It has not been done. It cannot be done. AFC coming from 0 to 7 seats in the National Assembly 2010, 2015 was a miracle in its own right. From 0 to 7, that had never been done before in the Caribbean. Nobody ain't going from 7 to 31 seats in one electoral cycle. If that were to happen, the ground would be telling you that. The ground would be telling you that. The ground would be telling you that. Has the PPP done enough? Had the PPP done enough to move a 7-seat party to 31-seat party? Or is their base so dissatisfied with them? You could answer that for yourself. I'm echoing what Dr. Hinds says. Don't waste the vote. This is not about who nice and look nice and sung nice and popular and attractive. It's not going to happen. If you got a small party who goes from 0 to 51, I retire from politics in 2025. If you have a party, the Alliance for Change may be overtaken. Right? There is precedent for that, because the Alliance for Change itself went from 0 to 6, 7 seats. That can happen. But no party is going to go from 0 seats to 31 seats in our lifetime in this country. That is the reality of it. That is the reality of it. And if I'm to put it frankly, again, you don't have enough votes in the middle for it. You do not have enough votes in the middle. You are telling me the entire PNC APNU base would have to vote with you, and some of the PPP base would have to vote with you for you to become 51%. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. That is the reality of it. I'm telling you who Rodney was, and Rodney couldn't do it. And these charlatans, they know Walter Rodney. I'm telling you who Kemraj was. I'm telling you who Moses was. I'm telling you who Trotman was, and they couldn't do it combined. And then you got these charlatans, and they could not do it. What you telling me? So when they come off the euphoria and the niceness, oh, I like how you talk, I like how you look, and this and that and so on. You have a political reality you got to deal with. Some of y'all only thinking about it now, but politics must be informed by what has come before and what we're looking at down the road. That is what it informs the politics. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. No party comes from 0 to 51 in one election cycle. It's not going to happen. So why are you wasting your vote? Why? Huh? Why? I stake my claim on coalition politics. A partnership for national unity under this umbrella. I don't have to lead it to be a part of it. Some people don't want to be part of nothing unless they lead in. That is immaturity. Some people don't want to be part of nothing unless they get up on the stage. What madness is that? I am comfortable where I am. Folks, I am happy to have a front row seat as history unfolds in this country. Who could ask for a better place than that? I thought I'd just stick that in because that is what you're dealing with. You got to deal with political history and you got to know it. Right? No revenge voting because you followed with some friend or you like some personality somewhere. Gonna put you at 41%. Because you were telling me that even if Norton holds his base, all of the PPP gonna vote with you and then some in the middle forgive you 51%. And then there's the other side. You're telling me the whole of Norton base can abandon the PNC, the mighty PNC, and vote with you and some of the PPP. And you got some people in the middle to give you 51%. There's not enough in the middle. If that were to happen, I give you your kudos. Right? I wash your feet, dry it with my tears, and kiss it too. And I hang up my towel and come out of politics. There is not that amount of dissatisfaction on either sides of the big political party to give a third party that kind of opportunity for 51%. A lot of folks said Norton gonna be standing alone. Was he standing alone Sunday night? Even in Jagdio's condemnation, look at the smile on Jagdio's face, because even Jagdio knows what's coming down. 60 years the base holding because of the foundation that Cherry and Burnham put on there. What nonsense you telling me? You just enter into politics and you think you could wrestle the base out from the foundation that it placed in? And all those people abandon the core because you and somebody got some vendetta, you and some personality got some disagreement and come and touch up with you? That is the reality. That is when you take away all the frills and the flags. That is the reality of it. And we gotta be honest. See, I keep measuring the drips. Keep measuring the drips and talking foolishness and nonsense. We're not seeing anything we've never seen in the history of this country. There is nothing new under the sun. Others have gone before us and others will follow. I'm telling you who Walter Rodney was, what he did. History will not even remember some of us that we passed this way. In countries around the world, remember Walter Rodney. Jamaica remembers Walter in their campus and in their society. Tanzania remembers Walter Rodney. And he was not able to go from 0 to 51% in his lifetime. Albeit it might have been cut short. And you telling me you just arrived last week. And because you get 2 likes and shares and people are kind to you, suddenly you have arrived. Y'all can be all on September surprise because y'all are not looking back. You're not looking forward. You're only looking to now. Are persons in the big parties, are their bases dissatisfied? Yes. Yes, parts of their base. But is it enough to give a middleman 51%? Give me a break. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the show. Y'all have a good day. We're going to see y'all guys back on the next one. We're going to see y'all back on the next one. Don't let people fool you. You just start smelling you sweat and you coming to lecture me about politics? Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. I tell you, heavyweights were not able to do it. It might take the AFC 40 years, 50 years in front of them if they survive to get to 15, 20 seats by themselves. And you tell me you're going to do 31 and 32 seats within 5 years? You deserve the Nobel Prize for chemistry, for physics, for peace, everything all in one. All in one. And that's why I say, I can help spin. Me want nobody spin to me. Give me a break. And let's move forward. That's the time. That's the program. I even know how I got there. That's the time. Yeah, I'm just going to read some history books. Political history books. Right? Go and read some. And see where this country coming from. It'll give you a clear-eye view of where it's going. Do we have some things to change in the politics? Yes, a lot. But is this going to change in 5 years? No. No. It might take me whole lifetime. And we children and we grandchildren, each chiseling away at it. You think America born yesterday? It's how many years? It's 50? It's 100? It's 150 years as a democracy? To get to where they are? And you think you could, in 5 years, you could come from 0 seats and get 31 seats and a majority in the National Assembly and become president of this country? See you on the next podcast. That's your program. Stay safe.